Hi guys, it's Toledo, Top for short. Today I'm building the Millennium Falcon, the Ultimate Collector Series. This is the big one. It's the 7,541 pieces. The biggest Lego built set they've ever made. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to getting this thing for a while. And this thing is massive. This whole thing is 30 pounds. This whole box with everything. That's pretty big. Got some stuff on the side of the box. Let's see. An iconic legend and timeless piece of one of the greatest space adventure stories ever told. This is the Ultimate Collector Series LEGO Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Immerse yourself in a galaxy fraught with action and intrigue as you build this famous starship, complete with LEGO minifigure crews from past and present Star Wars films. The companion 496-page building instruction book, that's ridiculous, includes exclusive interviews with LEGO model designers, a historical perspective of Millennium Falcon LEGO sets, and an in-depth look at the spacefaring vehicle from within the immense Star Wars universe. Alright, on this side we got some pictures of completed builds, blah blah blah, and over on this side you got the dimensions of the finished thing. You got the minifigures. We got BB-8, old Han Solo, Chewbacca, Finn, Rey, C-3PO, young Han Solo, Princess Leia, and 2 Porgs. And here's the dimensions. We got, this thing is 60 centimeters or 23.6 inches wide. 83 centimeters or 32.6 inches long, and 22 centimeters or 8.6 inches high. That's 2.5 to 2 by 2 feet, roughly. Big. Alright, on top we just got a little schematic thing. Alright. Let's get this thing open and see what we got. Unlike other videos, I'm not going to have the book and all the bags set up on the table because there's just no room. Ow! So I'm going to have it here beside me, pulling up bags, and got a little chair set up to put the bags on. Is a lot bigger than the Death Star's one. Stickers, and inside are we got 4 boxes. Which have the pieces in it. First things off, let's go ahead and get started with the book. Alright. So we'll do this. And let's see what this book has to say. Alright. About the LEGO Star Wars team. LEGO Star Wars started in 1999, and we have made new models for the product line every year since then. The LEGO Star Wars design team consists of 11 model designers and 4 graphic designers. The team is a mix of brand new designers with new fresh ideas and experienced LEGO Star Wars designers with many models under their belt. This is an impressive team for creating new innovative LEGO Star Wars models, as well as revising and improving previous LEGO versions of classic and iconic Star Wars ships. The focus of our main LEGO Star Wars product line is to make cool, fun, and inspiring LEGO Star Wars models for children. For LEGO Direct, we have the opportunity to make even bigger, more challenging models with special attention to accuracy and details. These models are fun and exciting to develop, but also a huge challenge. We always do our very best and hope you enjoy building them. Happy building, Jens Kronvold Fredrickson, Designer, Director, LEGO Star Wars. Okay. About the Millennium Falcon. Hauling thousands of tons of cargo across the endless void of space is a tough task. And among these, the most famous vehicles invented for these heavy-duty jobs was the Korean YT-1300F light freighter. One of these freighters in particular became infamous for hauling contraband and stolen goods. Piloted by intergalactic smuggler Han Solo and his right-hand Wookiee, Chewbacca, this special light freighter became known as the Millennium Falcon. The original name for this vehicle was YT-1300 492727Z and was owned by the human gambler Lando Calrissian, who is said to have made several customizations to the power core and deflector shields, among other changes. During this time, the vehicle gained the name Millennium Falcon, but the ship didn't stay long with Lando, who is rumored to have quickly lost the ship to the aforementioned Han Solo during a high-stakes game of sabacc. Despite the aged appearance and out-of-style vehicle design, the Millennium Falcon was a fierce ship, even though the shape of the chassis was one of the only remaining original aspects of the vehicle. Lando, Han Solo, and numerous other owners upgraded, customized, and improvised numerous modifications to create a freighter that was unlike any other in history. In addition to a customized hyperdrive system, the freighter was also touted to be the fastest ship in the galaxy. Han Solo also outfitted the Millennium Falcon with multiple weapon systems and updated the hull armor with duralloy plates salvaged from an Imperial cruiser. All of these modifications, as well as its sublight speed and maneuverability, made the Millennium Falcon competitive against the fastest starfighters produced by both the Rebellion and the Empire. Additionally, Han Solo included custom-built sensor-proof smuggling compartments, which later aided in the rescue of Princess Leia Organa from Imperial stormtroopers. Present for some of the largest conflicts during the Galactic Civil War, the Millennium Falcon was instrumental in the destruction of both the Death Stars and was an invaluable part of the Rebellion's fleet. Some years after the Battle of Endor, the Millennium Falcon was stolen from Han Solo, ending up in the hands of such characters as Duquesne and the Irving Boys, and finally ending up on the junkyard planet Jakku, where it sat unused for years collecting dust. The infamous ship soon reclaimed its former glory, however, as a mechanically shrewd Rey, the astromech droid BB-8, and a deserter stormtrooper Finn used the ship to escape an attack from the First Order. We got a picture of the Falcon. We got some illustrations of various parts. The cockpit looks like, I'm not sure what that is. There's a schematic of the cockpit section, and we got an illustration of the scene in A New Hope where Luke and Obi-Wan first see the Falcon. Right. Facts and specifications. Millennium Falcon facts. Manufacturer Korean Engineering Corporation. Model YT-1300F light freighter, class light freighter. Technical specifications for modified YT-1300 light freighter. Length 34.75 meters, maximum speed 1050 kilometers per hour. Hyperdrive rating class 0.5. Armament 2 CEC AG-2G quad laser cannons, 2 Arkid ST-2 concussion missile tubes, Blastech AX-108 ground buzzer blaster cannon, tractor beam projectors, shielding, Torplex deflector shield projector, Nordo Nordoxicon deflector shield projector, Kuat drive yards deflector shield projector. Hull duralloy plating. Engine unit Gyrodyne SRB-42 sublight engines. Crew 1 pilot, 1 co-pilot, 2 gunners. Cargo capacity 100 metric tons. We got front view, shows the quad laser cannons and the forward floodlight and quad laser cannon. Top view, we got forward mandibles, equipment bay, there's 4 of them, deflector shield projector, sensor dish, cockpit, escape pods, armor plating, and drive unit. Got an illustration of the the main cabin of the ship. Got, looks like somebody designing it. Alright. Building behind the scenes. In the second draft of A New Hope film script written in 1975, George Lucas described a pirate ship that Han Solo served aboard, along with fellow crewmate Chewbacca. Subsequent rewrites made Han Solo the owner of this pirate ship, while in the fourth draft of the ship was finally given a name, the Millennium Falcon. Early designs as to what would become one of the most famous spaceships in science fiction history were similar to stereotypical rocket ships. Huge engine exhaust ports were added to give the ship a race car feel, and the cockpit was rounded out. The design had too many parallels to other spaceships, however, and Lucas began thinking of a way to differentiate the Millennium Falcon and give the vehicle a truly unique look. It is believed that he was inspired by the saucer-shaped design of classic UFOs and the idea of a hamburger with a bite taken out of it. Yeah, it's interesting. Thus, the famous rounded shape of the Millennium Falcon was born. Construction began on the models for the movie set. Materials used included some items as disparate as novelty chance dice and parts from a Ferrari sports car. Several complete models were constructed for various scenes throughout the film, ranging in size from 7 inches to over 4 feet. A near full-size exterior measuring almost 60 feet long was built for A New Hope and featured in the famous escape scene in the Death Star hangar. The completed exterior set had a functional landing gear as well as a structural support disguised as fuel line. Internally, the set featured the starboard ring corridor, boarding ramp, a cockpit access tunnel, gun turret ladder, various seating compartments, and the forward hold. Interestingly, the cockpit was constructed separately so that it could be rocked to simulate movement as it traveled through space and battled the Imperial fleet. The build set was simply too big to move, so rather than breaking it down and rebuilding it for various scenes, the film crew changed the sets around the ship. For the film The Empire Strikes Back, another near full-size replica of the ship's exterior was used. Despite multiple sets and models being created to depict the Millennium Falcon throughout the movie universe, several scenes made use of matte paintings produced by Ralph McQuarrie to show the Millennium Falcon in its completed glory. One such scene is when Princess Leia, played by actress Carrie Fisher, sees a Millennium Falcon for the first time in A New Hope. Similarly, when Han Solo asks Lando Calrissian to promise not to damage the Millennium Falcon in Return of the Jedi, the ship shown is a backdrop painting. When filming began on The Empire Strikes Back, a new and smaller miniature model was created to supplement the full-size Millennium Falcon. This smaller version allowed for more intricate in-flight rolls and pitches that were impossible with a 5-foot model. Measuring approximately 32 inches in length, the new model included more detailed surface structures and updated landing gear and cockpit details. That's about how long this thing is. Which expanded the number of shots the film crew could now include. The model was then mounted on a gimbal and used to simulate the ship's movements, for example when escaping from an oncoming group of TIE fighters. This model is also renowned for being the version most familiar to Star Wars fans, as the design was used most often for toys, model kits, promotional materials, and art for Star Wars universe. The same model was later reused for Return of the Jedi. Another unmistakable feature of the Millennium Falcon were the sounds that accompanied the amazing visuals. Almost all of the spacefaring vehicles in the Star Wars universe featured sound effects that were based on real planes. For the Millennium Falcon, sound designer Ben Burt used the slowed-down engine sound of the North American P-51 Mustang fighter airplane from World War II. He then added a thunderclap or a lion's roar to accentuate the speed and size of the ship when it passed close to the camera. To create the sound of Millennium Falcon jumping into hyperspace, Burt combined the sound of a Douglas DC-3 with an echo effect and the film crew's motion control cameras as they moved along their tracks. That was a lot. Here we got an image of the model used for the movie, assuming that's the Empire Strikes Back one, and a painting of the Millennium Falcon. We got, it looks like full size. We got a miniature, a cockpit, a sketch of the Millennium that looks like in a hangar, a colored out version of that, and I'm not sure what that is. History of the Millennium Falcon. Jens Kronwald Fredrickson. Question: the Millennium Falcon is probably the most iconic vehicle from the entire Star Wars saga. When approaching the new model with this much history, what were some of the first steps taken when designing the full Lego brick version of the Millennium Falcon? Answer: well, that was many years ago. The first Millennium Falcon launched in 2000. But I do remember that we had a lot of discussion about how to design this model. It is round, and therefore not that simple to create with Lego bricks and elements. But we decided to use some circular elements from a Lego space UFO theme for the main body of the ship. We also created a new canopy element for the cockpit, but today this model looks very dated. More recent versions of the Lego Millennium Falcon are much closer to the real design. Question: with over 8 versions of the model in the Lego set library, were there any versions that contained dramatic changes from the previous incarnation? Answer: the next Millennium Falcon, created in 2004, was minifigure scale. This was a huge upgrade from the first version. We made the 12x3 stud triangular plate to create the main body in a completely new and more accurate way. We also created a more accurate transparent element for the cockpit canopy. Question: the unique rounded shape of the Millennium Falcon is a defining characteristic of the spaceship. Was this a challenge to communicate with Lego bricks? Answer: a round shape is difficult with Lego bricks, but the way we did it in the first version, 4504 Millennium Falcon, is the best way. Currently, the latest version, 75105 Millennium Falcon, uses the same triangular elements. On a large scale version like this UCS version, it is much more complicated. I remember from when I designed the first UCS version Millennium Falcon in 10179. It was about making a sturdy frame, then covering it up with panels in many different shapes created from a lot of different Lego elements. Question: were there any elements of previous versions that have been slightly updated for this newest interpretation of the Millennium Falcon? Answer: the model you have here is by far the most detailed Lego Millennium Falcon ever done. More or less all details have been upgraded on the latest version of the ship. A very noticeable detail is, of course, the cockpit canopy, a vast improvement from the 10179 Millennium Falcon, which only had the framing on the canopy and no glass. What type of visual resources are used when designing a Lego set based on a vehicle from a movie? Film, screenshots, online schematics, something else? Answer: when designing models, we always use official reference material. For this Millennium Falcon, we use the movies, including Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and pictures of studio models. Question: what sets the Millennium Falcon apart from other Lego Star Wars sets? Answer: first of all, it is the most iconic and popular ship in the Star Wars films. For that reason, There have been many different versions and sizes of the LEGO Millennium Falcon build. Question: are there any parts of the new set that improve functionality, stability, or appearance in any significant way? Answer: more or less everything has been improved. The basic inner frame is probably the part that comes closest to the previous 10179 Millennium Falcon. When we create a new version of a model, we always start by going through consumer feedback on the previous version to find areas for improvement. Visually, this version is also much more accurate and detailed. Question: how accurate is the LEGO Millennium Falcon compared to the real in-universe vehicle? Answer: very accurate. The only major difference is that the Millennium Falcon in the movie is missing the LEGO studs, obviously. And down here we have a list of different LEGO Millennium Falcons versions. We got 7190 Millennium Falcon, 659 pieces. The very first incarnation of the LEGO Millennium Falcon is created. Measures over 2 inches, 6 centimeters high, 21 inches, 53 centimeters long, and 17 inches, 42 centimeters wide. It includes 6 minifigures: Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia Organa, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, and C-3PO. 2003, we got 4488 Mini Millennium Falcon, 87 pieces. First mini version of the Millennium Falcon measures over 2 inches, 4 centimeters high, 5 inches, 14 centimeters long, and 5 inches, 14 centimeters wide. No minifigures included. Sets created additional parts to build a Y-Wing starfighter when also using additional parts from set 4489, 4490, and 4491. 4504 Millennium Falcon Episode 5. 985 pieces. Original Trilogy Edition. All new LEGO brick plates are created to help build the unique shape. Measures over 4 inches, 9 centimeters high, 22 inches, 57 centimeters long, and 15 inches, 38 centimeters wide. Includes 5 minifigures: Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia Organa, C-3PO, and Stormtrooper. 10179 in 2007, Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon, 5,197 pieces. The biggest version so far of the iconic ship lands on shelves everywhere. Measures over 8 inches, 21 centimeters high, 33 inches, 84 centimeters long, and 22 inches, 56 centimeters wide. Includes 5 minifigures: Han Solo, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia Organa. 2009 7778 midi-scale Millennium Falcon, 356 pieces. A midi-scale version of the Millennium Falcon measures over 3 inches, 8 centimeters high, 9 inches, 24 centimeters long, and 7 inches, 17 centimeters wide. No minifigures included. 2011 7965 Millennium Falcon, 1,254 pieces. Measures over 4 inches, 10 centimeters high, 23 inches, 58 centimeters long, and 15 inches, 38 centimeters wide. It includes 6 minifigures: Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Ben Kenobi, Princess Leia Organa, and Darth Vader. And that's not the one. That's not that one. And I do believe that is one of the ones that I have. 2014 75030 Millennium Falcon Microfighters, 94 pieces. A Microfighters version of the Millennium Falcon, which still incorporates the recognizable and famous round shape with 2 flick missiles and a mini cockpit on top for Han Solo to sit in. Measures over 2 inches, 6 centimeters high, 3 inches, 8 centimeters long, and 3 inches, 8 centimeters wide. 2015 75105 Millennium Falcon Episode 7 7. 1,329 pieces. Episode 7 edition measures over 5 inches, 14 centimeters high, 18 inches, 47 centimeters long, and 12 inches, 32 centimeters wide. Includes 6 minifigures: Rey, Finn, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Tasso Leech, and a Kanja Club gang member, plus a BB-8 astromech droid, which is the other one that I have. So I've got this one, and I've got this one. More. Meet the model designer. Hans Burkhard Schlomer. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't. Question. There's many legendary vehicles in the Star Wars universe, but the Millennium Falcon stands apart as an iconic creation that helped define one of the most memorable movies of all time. With so much at stake, what were your first thoughts when sitting down to design the ultimate Lego Millennium Falcon? Answer. Designing any set of this size certainly is a daunting task in its own right. Even more so when the set in question is a Millennium Falcon. I've never built the older set before, so this was a perfect opportunity to do what is every Lego Star Wars fan's dream: build a huge 10179 Millennium Falcon. This exercise helped me understand how the internal support structure works, how the model is divided into segments, and how they all connect it to the frame. In short, how everything goes together. When I realized that the basic design principle is still sound and would also provide the sturdiness of an even more detailed and heavier model would require, I just kept running with it. Question. When you designed LEGO Star Wars sets before, how is the Millennium Falcon different from other... Excuse me. Try that again. Question. You have designed LEGO Star Wars sets before. How is the Millennium Falcon different from other models you have created? Answer. After designing the play-themed version of Star Wars The Force Awakens Millennium Falcon LEGO set 75105, I was already quite familiar with the look of the ship. After creating the 10179 Millennium Falcon in the digital program we use here, I disassembled the model on my screen and was able to lay out all the subsections side by side. However, every time I made more than just cosmetic changes digitally, I had to make sure the parts still fit the rest of the model or make necessary changes to other parts as well. These also had to be checked on a physical copy, then altered as well. Many of those sub-builds were redesigns, while others were brand new and had to find a place on the model. In order to test how the model will perform under stress, we always heat up the whole set. But we don't have an oven large enough for the Falcon at the LEGO office, so we booked the sauna at the public bath in Billund, Denmark, just for this occasion. Sneaking the top secret model into the building and back again was a little like being in a spy movie, and definitely a change from design routine. It's a lot of reading. Question. Were there special challenges when it came to making the model look like the real Star Wars Millennium Falcon? Answer. The Falcon was certainly the Falcon is certainly not the easiest shape to recreate with LEGO elements at any scale. But the previous 10179 model already did much of the work for me, allowing me to focus on details that really could use a facelift after 10 years, like areas that were built using angled plates and panels before, when they really should have been round or curved. For example, the top center with the guns, the corridor leading to the cockpit, or the airlocks on the side of the ship. The top panels for the front mandibles required a total redesign to achieve the look I wanted, with correctly sized panels and placed holes, and dark gray elements to bring out the detailing on one side. I added a bit of dark tan all over the model for a more weathered look, and swapped out plates for tiles for a better balance between studs and flat surfaces. Early on, it was also decided to develop a new windshield element for the cockpit for a really spot-on look and to be in line with the other current LEGO Star Wars products. Question. The original Millennium Falcon movie model went through several design changes before the shape was decided on. Typically, how many sketch versions of a LEGO model are there before the final version is reached? Answer. A typical site in LEGO design areas is a dozen or more slightly different prototypes of the same model, representing design stages, sitting on or behind the designer's desks. But on LEGO Star Wars, this is usually not how I personally work. With proper reference material on hand and the ability to go through early iterations quickly with our design programs, the first physical copy I built is usually very close to the final terms in terms of look and size. I don't have room for a fleet of slightly different Falcons anyway. If you are reading this before building your own Falcon, it is big. Capital B-I-G. Yeah, no kidding. Never did I have more than one or maybe two copies of the completed model in my workspace. All changes were done digitally and then checked on and applied to the one physical copy I had room for. Being able to base this new version of the Millennium Falcon on 10179 was also a great help. I knew the support structure would not fail me and trigger a disastrous cascade of design changes at some later point. Question: are there key features you wanted to include when designing the interior details of the ship? Answer: it was decided early on that this version of the Ultimate Millennium Falcon was going to have some interior. There were just two problems. The interior sets we see in the movie would not be able to fit into the ships as seen on screen. On top of that, the LEGO Millennium Falcon is already pretty much filled with LEGO Technic beams in order to provide the required sturdiness and structural stability. There is even less space to put anything else into. The first step was then to make room by altering the internal support structure to determine how much space I would have available to work with. As it turned out, it wasn't much, but enough to put in all the important features I could find, with a few extras on top, like the hatches leading to the escape pods, which are themselves missing, as reported by Imperial stormtroopers searching the ship in Episode 4. Finally, I wanted the Falcon to still look good and complete even when the top is taken off to showcase the interior. Only the panels right on top of the interior have to be removed, keeping the rest of the model with its structural beams and off-color pieces well covered. Here we got a painting of Han Solo and Lando Calrissian meeting on Bespin mining colony, with proper credits to the artist. Question: what was your favorite part of the design process? Answer: the first phase of LEGO set development is always very exciting for a designer. This is when shaping and detailing of a model happens. Later, I spend most of my time fixing issues and finding solutions for various design aspects like model stability, function, product safety, or building flow. My favorite part, however, is when I finally receive a bag of bricks and a pile of loose building instructions based on the steps that I have developed. In this case, a very large pile. At this point, my work is mostly done and my colleagues take over for creating the design and completing the final elements of the set, like creating the box art and generating a list of elements for the factory. Question: were there features or functions of the movie version of the Millennium Falcon that were, in your opinion, essential to have in the final design? In my mind, the new Millennium Falcon would have to be the Episode 5 version. The Empire Strikes Back is where the Falcon really shines, develops character, and becomes part of the cast with the last-second escape from Hoth. The chase through the asteroid field, meeting the space slug, hugging a Star Destroyer, visiting Bespin, and finally even taking on a Super Star Destroyer. However, apart from the necessary spaceship functions, the Millennium Falcon is not really heavy on out-of-the-ordinary features, or so Han Solo certainly wants you to believe. One of the new gadgets is the ground buzzer blaster cannon, a nasty surprise for Imperial troops as seen in Episode 5 on the Rebel base. Since the Millennium Falcon also appears in Episodes 7 and 8, adding the new rectangular sensor dish was essential, so you can choose between making the classic or new trilogy version of the Falcon. Question: what are the differences between the original trilogy Millennium Falcon and the Falcon as seen in Episode 7, The Force Awakens? Answer: It takes a detailed study of reference material to realize that the new sensor dish is not the only change in the Episode 7 Falcon, just the most obvious one. While even more aged and beaten up, many of the hull details of the ship have been cleaned up or altered. For practical reasons, I went for a middle ground while still keeping some of the removed details, such as the metal cage covers on the sides of the mandibles. One is right next to the cockpit. They are not present on the Episode 7 Falcon anymore, but I kept them because they are great details to have on any version of the Falcon and blend in nicely. Two other small gadgets sit right on top of the ship's front, were a different matter though. They are a bit more obvious, so I made them removable. Okay, meet the graphic designer. Madison O'Neill, which would be that guy. Question: were there special challenges when it came to making the model look like the real Star Wars Millennium Falcon? Answer: the most challenging aspect of the graphic design on this model had to be the stickers of the corridors inside the Millennium Falcon. It was important to capture a feeling of depth looking down the circular hallways and create the illusion that your minifigures could walk from the common area to the cockpit or the hyperdrive. The interior of the Falcon can be quite complex with all its missing panels, flashing controls, and exposed wires. I did my best to simplify these details down to the essentials to maintain the LEGO DNA. Question: the original Millennium Falcon movie models went through several design changes before the shape was decided on. Typically, how many sketch versions of a LEGO product are there before the final version is reached? Answer: the design of any LEGO minifigure or decoration is likely to go through several rounds of revisions before being finalized and sent to Lucasfilm for approval. In certain special cases, you can end up doing more than 10 versions, and all with small distinct features or color changes. With a limited color palette, it can often be a unique challenge to match the reference. Question: what is your favorite part of the design process? Answer: I always enjoyed starting a new project and developing the graphical needs of the product with the model designer. That discussion will usually lead me to combing through the reference folders to find clear images of extremely specific pieces of a ship, or taking a few minutes to re-watch certain parts of the movies to get inspiration or just for fun. It is also very rewarding when you finally receive the first test print of a decorated element. For me, that marks the end of a cycle when the design has only lived on the computer screen until this point becomes something you can play with. Here we have some images. Han Solo with and without a mask, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, C-3PO, Dejeric board, control panels, and corridors. Question: were there features or functions in the movie version of the Millennium Falcon that were, in your opinion, essential to have in the final design? Answer: well, you can't have a Millennium Falcon without a good Dejeric board. It was also exciting and essential to recreate the iconic radar dish, gunnery windows, and cockpit. Question: were there characters related to the various appearances of the Millennium Falcon that were, in your opinion, essential to have in the final design? Answer: we wanted this Millennium Falcon to be a little more versatile than the previous version, giving you the freedom to decide between the classic Falcon or the version from The Force Awakens. As such, we knew we had to include two crews, and the crew from The Empire Strikes Back seemed the best complement to the Force Awakens crew. We also took this opportunity to create some alternate face designs for Han and Leia. This is the only set where they are wearing the breathing mask that they used to explore the belly of the giant space slug in Empire Strikes Back. Minox beware. My favorite new character in this set is the adorable bird-like creature that we are told lives on the island shown at the end of The Force Awakens, the same island where Rey discovers Luke. I can't wait to see what part they play in Episode 8. Alright, we got some blueprints and concept sketches of, looks like a radar dish, sketches of Falcon, gunner's seat, and the Falcon and an X-Wing blowing up the reactor on the second Death Star. And we've got the same thing in a few different languages. Skip through that, and I can't read that stuff. Alright, that looks like all of the interesting stuff in the book. Now I'm going to put the camera up here on the tripod. Now I'll find somewhere to put the book. Oh. Okay. As always, I'll have pictures of this up on my DeviantArt. I'll have a link down in the description below. Any like, comment, subscribe, whatever time you're watching this. Hope you enjoy the show. Alright. That is the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. This thing is ridiculously big. All in all, it's about 33 hours, 34 hours in total, including breaks for food and restroom and stuff like that. At one point I had to stop for a few days because there was a piece missing. I had to wait for that to get in from Lego. The thing looks great. It looks amazing. But there are some things that I don't really like about it. There's not a whole lot of internal support structures, so carrying it is not easy. You gotta get your hands down up underneath the middle of it. And another thing I'm not too fond of is these panels up here. Look at all these panels. They're not attached to the ship in any way. To where they easily lift up. They're just held on with a couple little pegs into the ship. See? This thing goes in there, and that's all that holds it on. Not the best design, but like I said, this thing took about 30 hours, 33 hours. We got this little plaque here, has the information about it. Don't know how long this video is going to end up being. I'm going to say it's going to be about 30-minute long video, but I'll find out after I edit it down. Okay, and over here we got all the minifigures that came with it. We got young Han Solo, old Han Solo, 2 Porgs, Leia, Rey, Chewie, C-3PO, Finn, BB-8, and a Minoc. I'll figure some place to put them in a little bit. Alright, all in all, it was a good build. It was fun to do. Frustrating when I had to get a new piece, but there you go. It also comes with 2 different dishes, radar dishes, from the original series and from Force Awakens. So you can choose which one you want to use. Let's take a look at what we got going on inside. Over here we've got the cockpit. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Let's turn this thing around and get a look at the other side. When you're lifting this thing up, you got to be really careful about it because these edge panels Like those edge panels there are not very well attached and can easily be knocked off. Okay. Over here we've got the boarding platform. It goes up down. This part come off. Alright, we got some parts inside the ship. Over here we got these panels that come off so you can get inside. Like I said, they're not very well attached, but oh well. This one is actually attached on fairly securely. You got the upper guns and the gunner station right there. Somewhere in here is the lounge with the whatever that game is called. I don't care to look right now. Alright, whatever time it is you guys are watching, have a good day, have a good night, whatever time. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I'll have pictures of it up on my DeviantArt. I'll have links down in the description. Bye.